Hi, I'm Jewell Starsinger. The point is, what am I doing? What the hell is going on here? All right, so the hell is going on is that I have an agenda, and every day I think about stuff. And so I write notes. I have pages like this, hundreds of them. All right, because every day I have to write things down that go through my head because I have this belief that I'm receiving data from the gods. Okay, so that's my thing. Now, I've used Kabbalah, tarot, yeah, and astrology to discover my own center. And under what the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing? So I'm doing stuff and I'm naming it according to these systems. That's what these systems are for, you see, because they help someone like me who's incredibly ADHD, autistic, what the fuck, I don't know, neurodivergent. Oh God, my neck. Kurt Metzger, you little monster, criticizing our necks just because we're geriatric is not nice. I mean, just let me cover that ugly turkey neck up, all right? And stop teasing me. All right, tease me. What the hell? What do I care? All right, so point being, oh, I forgot to tell you first. I mean, where's first? Where do you start? You start here, here, you start over here. Maybe you could start here. You could start here. Any of these places, you can start a story at any point. It's a circle, just pick a spot because it's a freaking circle, but it's not going to be the snake eating its tail. It's going to be the snake eating the next snake's tail. So in other words, is it turtles all the way down, or is it snakes eating each other's tails? What is that thing, that horrible thing where the mouth and the asshole and the human centipede? Blah. Okay, well, anyway, all these images are are talking about this circular reinvention of ourselves that we keep doing through all these processes. And these are just ways to describe these processes that we're experiencing. All right, so here's one. I got to make this down and dirty because I'm sick and tired of trying to do it like everybody else because I can't, right? So frogs don't fly. So if you're a frog, hop, right? Stop trying to fly. Because they're telling us the American dream is like, everybody can do anything. No, everybody cannot do everything. You are designed for certain things, and you are designed to do those things and understand how to do those things, because understanding is the key. Here we go. Everybody wants to understand stuff. Why? Because once you understand it, then it becomes beautiful. Yeah, see, that's how that works, because Pisces is the last step, and everything becomes beautiful when you understand more stuff. Instead of being something you reject and hate and push away, when you do this, when you understand, then you suddenly become more open and you see the beauty. The problem with this is that too much understanding and acceptance and allowance means that you let too much nasty stuff in, which is why then it's the next one down. It's her job to filter and restrain. So that's what Saturn does. She filters and restrains. And then down here, here's Libra. Okay. And then she does this thing where she's like, well, let's negotiate. Venus is the negotiator, and this is the mature Venus, and she goes, let's figure out how to make this dance work. All right, and then at the bottom of the feminine pillar, human stuff. The bottom of the pillar we have Venus, nature girl. Okay, and she's like, but she's very picky. You look at those lady brown birds. That's what I see Venus as, the lady brown bird. She's a little diminutive bird, and she's going to choose which fella is the prettiest dancer. And as long as we don't play out those little scenes, we're missing some of the fun of being here, you see. And so there you go. All right. Victimology 102. What's the difference between victim and feminine yin? None. There's no difference. That's what femininity is. She is the receiver, the victim of the yang lingam. Now, we can use that energy properly, or we can cry, wah, wah, wah. Now, I used to cry, wah, 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 because I learned in my culture that if you were a huge victim, everybody would go, yay! Oh, that was terrible. Oh, how awful. Ah! And you got lots of brownie points. We called virtue signaling brownie points in my day. Okay. So anyway, there was that. Now there's this thing in the Gospel of Thomas where Jesus says, I will make her male, because Paul says we don't like women. We don't like Mary. She's female and that's icky to us. And so what is this? I think it's left brain, right brain stuff like Dr. McGilchrist talks about. In other words, the left brain is the hunter. And the hunter just sees an object and goes good or bad, or even doesn't even make that judgment. Just, I'll check it out later, kill it now. That's the masculine perspective, you see. All right, so Paul's saying, I don't like that feminine perspective. Why? Because the feminine perspective is the one that says, oh, anything goes, it could be nice, but she does that and then it eats her. It kills her because she's like, oh, but she's the holy victim. You see how this works? Am I making any sense? All right, so what Jesus says, I will make her male and then she can be holy. So what he's saying is, I love this. We have to put them together. We have to put the anything goes girl with the hunter, the masculine with the feminine. We mix it up and we become the heart that's seeing all the beauty of both sides. Now, I was just with some really lovely ladies yesterday, and they were like, oh, I don't go to the dark side. That's no fun. That's icky. I don't like it. Well, I understand. It's hard. I was born to it. I was born to just live in some icky crap a lot and try to understand it. All right. And I worked really hard to do that. Now, my girls are young and they are like, it doesn't want it. That's icky. No. I like the light. They just like the daddy. And that is my issue with modern spirituality, is that we need to understand the dark. Now, Jung was into this. How do you integrate your shadow, he calls it. Yeah? All right. So when Jesus says, I will make her male, and then we'll like her, it's not misogynistic. It's discussing how these two very widely separated divine opposites come together and become us, our fleshy selves. But this fleshy self is a soul. This is a soul. So what he's saying is, I'm going to take her fleshies and his hunter mind, fantasy mind, and put them together. And so when she becomes that, she's human, in other words, or she's animal, in other words, because all of the beings around us are sentient. Everything is alive, you see. So the story then, let's see, I wrote a note. This is about Yang imposing itself into the body when she is, oh God, glasses, really. And she is the total anima, and then she is animal. And he said to make her male, which means he will make her conscious. See how that works? In other words, the anima is the feminine. It's the pictures, it's the feeling, it's the smells, it's the gooey stuff that doesn't have any words for it, no concept. And you know what concepts are. You know, these words I'm speaking to you, this is conceptual. It's not real. We made this up so that my brain could touch your brain. See how that works? So anyway, he's saying if I can make a system that is from all the non-existent concepts and marry it to the gooey stuff, I'm going to have a living conscious flesh, a real soul. And that's what he's talking about, you see. All right. So in other words, being the victim is when you're just choosing to be one side of the tree. We want to choose to do both. And your faith then, there's a lot of talk about faith, and I'll talk about that in another video because I'm trying to make these short and sweet. Because I get these flashy things and I just want to make them quick so you'll understand better. Because the whole point of this is to understand better. Because the more you can integrate these understandings into yourself, the quicker we're going to flourish. I don't like to say ascend because that implies going to God in heaven, and I don't believe in that. I think that when you go to God in heaven, that's nowhere. God is elsewhere, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, on I go because you've heard me say this. Okay. So what's the difference between victimization and the feminine? None. The feminine is the victim of the masculine. Change your mind, change the words, and understand the surrender, the cup and the wine. Yeah? Okay.